Hello people, welcome back to yet another video. Let's talk about, oh boy, Arsenal. Now first of all, Happy New Year to everybody. Let's hope we have a better year in general, not just sports, because that's more than football. And in football and manner, hopefully it's a bit better year for Arsenal fans as well. Now, hopefully all of you are much smarter than me and didn't allow Arsenal to ruin your Christmas, your New Year's Eve, your holidays in general, because I did allow it. They totally ruined it, and yeah, thank God I have a 4-year-old daughter that I love more than life. That kinda cheered me up a bit. But yeah, those bastards did it again. Now, the couple of things I wanted to talk about. Again, I'm not going to make any tactical analysis and stuff like that because I see no point in doing this. But I wanted to talk from a fan perspective, emotional damage, if you want, that our beloved club caused us. So let's kick on. Now, first of all, as I said, ruined Christmas, ruined New Year's Eve, ruined holidays in general. And I think this is probably one of the biggest problems that those boys have, including Arteta, Edu, Gronkis. I'm not even going to talk about. There's no point. The problem is they lost 2 games in a row, and those 2 games were Christmas and New Year's, right? Well, not New Year's, but New Year's Eve game, which is quite the achievements to be fair. And if we were playing, I don't know, City and Liverpool away, and you lose those 2 games, you kinda, it's not that you will accept it, but you will kinda understand why it happened. But no disrespect, we lost to West Ham at home, and then we kind of managed to somehow lose to one of the worst teams in the league, Fulham, or at least one of the teams in worst form in the league. So yeah, um, the screenshot of the match stats that I left on the screen are there for a reason. You can see this is from the second half, right? So this is when basically you're tied 1-all, right? And this is the stats that you get. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this XG, obviously, but it does show something, right? 0.22. 0 shots on goals. Now that's a stat that shows a lot, right? Shots of goals, 5. Okay. So basically, apart from ball possession, which I don't care that much, we basically were worse than Fulham in every single stat, which I really don't understand. Now, the reason I didn't I didn't record this video after the game is because I was way too emotional, and I will probably get banned by YouTube for life because I would use a lot of bad words, which I'm not going to do now. But the only way to describe this, and unfortunately I have to use a word I really hate to use against Arsenal, or when I'm talking about Arsenal, and I'm using it second time this season, sorry. And that word is simply unprofessional. This was absolutely unprofessional performance. I'm not talking about not not respecting the fans and stuff like that. No, that's already gone. We're talking about unprofessional. Arsenal players were not on the pitch. We saw soulless, empty vessels there. They didn't want to even be there, let alone play football. And using one probably of my favorite YouTube videos of I think it was a Chelsea fan, I'm not sure. He's a Spanish speaker. You probably saw this. It's basically a guy that describes the life of modern day footballers, right? The cars they are driving, the mansions they are living in, the salaries that they're getting, everything, right? The quality of life in general they have. And all is asked of them is at least to be able to control a ball, to shoot a ball, make the goalies make a save, right? Which we didn't see tonight from Arsenal. Now, if you watched my videos, you will kind of understand that more or less I do support this kind of projects, right? our project, I probably not anymore. What I mean by that is I like projects when you have a young manager, general manager, which is Edu in our case, a young coach, which is Arteta, building a young team, young squad, kind of supported by some of more experienced players. I like this kind of projects, right? I don't like the way City does things. I don't like Real Madrid, PSG, Chelsea. I don't like when things happen like that. That's my personal opinion. Doesn't mean I understand football more than you or I'm a better person. No, it's just the way I see sport, what I like to see. But I don't like what I see in Arsenal right now. Now, we cannot complain of refs, right? I mean, the only game I still stay firm that refs cost us was the Newcastle game. We didn't play well, but Newcastle didn't play well as well. They didn't deserve to win. This game should have been a tight game. The refs screwed it up. Everything from that point, we cannot complain about the refs. Absolutely no chance. Now, the next point was basically the way we play. Again, this is the second time this season I'm talking about this, and this is our style of play, right? Compared to the last season, I think probably every single Arsenal fan thinks the same, talks about this every single day. Instead of having the majestic football that we played last year, scoring lots of goals, playing probably one of the best footballs in the world, or at least in Europe, to what we've been told is having more control. A couple of videos ago, I asked what exactly is that having control thing, because I don't see it, and I still don't see it. I mean, we don't have control. We don't control shit. We didn't control at all the game against Liverpool. We were lucky. We didn't control the game against Chelsea. We were lucky. We didn't control the game against West Ham. I don't think we deserve to win that game, because if you can't score your chances, it means you're not good enough to win the game. It's simple as that. If you create a lot of chances and you have me as a number 9, I'm not going to score anything, right? So if you don't have a quality attacker, you don't deserve to win that game. So this having control thing, no, we don't have shit under control. Nothing is under control right now. So really, I don't understand what they're talking about. But anyway, so let's move to probably the most important point of this video, and something that a lot of Arsenal fans are thinking right now: Arteta out. Now, unfortunately, our fan base is being divided for the last couple of years, and we still cannot be united even in some common goals, right? Which is basically Arsenal winning games, Arsenal being successful. The fan base is divided in Arteta in, Arteta out, whatever. So obviously I'm more of Arteta in guy, but a lot of players are, a lot of fans out there, a lot of YouTubers are talking of Arteta out now. Should he be sacked or not? And again, I will basically I will get back to my first video, which was, if you watched it, it was basically my vision of the structure of this football club, how it's structured. And as I said, I'm working with the American sports for more than 10 years now. NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, the minor leagues as well. Long story short, the way I see Arsenal is we don't have a director of football, we don't have a manager and stuff like that. No, we have an owner that hires a general manager, which is Edu in our case, and he hires a general manager that is on board with his plan. This is the money we have, this is the resources we have, this is what we want to achieve. If the manager is okay with that, he jumps on board. Then the manager hires a coach that he wants to work with, and the coach is basically agreeing to what the general manager offers him. The coach is choosing the lineups, the starting lineups. The coach is coaching the players. The coach is choosing tactics. The coach is sitting on the bench during the games. but the general manager is the one that is responsible for transfers. Of course, he talks to the coaches, he asks the coaches what they need, but generally it's the general manager who decides all of this. Why I'm saying this is, well, because I don't think that sacking Arteta now will solve anything. Don't get me wrong, if you want Arteta out, of course that's your right, that's your opinion, you can go and protest against Arteta. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is, if they sack Arteta, who do you think they hire? They're not going to go after Carlo Ancelotti, because they don't want a manager like that. Or coach in this case. What they will do, they will just replace him with someone like him. Either it will be just a coach that will see this golden opportunity, to work in a big club for a lot of money, and he will be their yes man. Or they will go for a young manager, maybe more talented than Arteta, but still, when it's a young manager, he will have to accept that he will be a yes man. Otherwise, he won't get that chance. So, I don't think anything will improve. If we won't change, or if you won't change, rather, because my patience is still there on place. It's getting thinner, by the way. But anyway, I think if you want change, you have to go at least Edu out right now. Because if Edu gets sacked and another general manager comes into his place, that general manager will have a different vision. That general manager will probably get rid of Arteta immediately. Or he won't give him a lot of time. He will probably give him a couple of months to improve it. And if he doesn't, he will sack him and hire someone else. And of course, the best decision I think is still Kroenke's out, right? This is something that, again, I'm not still at that point, but it makes sense actually. So the reason I'm not still at this point is because this January transfer window will show, are the Kroenkes really interested in winning with Arsenal, or they're just happy to be back in the Champions League and the money of the Champions League. And the reason I'm saying this is, the way I see the transfers is like this. Summer transfer window is basically you trying to keep up with the with the other teams, right? Or at least you're trying to catch on someone. Spending 100 millions in modern day football is not a lot. It's not you getting ahead of others, ahead of the pack. It's just keeping up with the pack. The difference comes in January. We suffered from January transfer windows last year and the year before that. We know that very well. So that's why I'm saying this January transfer window will show us if they are serious about it or not. If we go and we sign one player, it doesn't matter even if we get Ivan Toney, if that's the only player we get, it means that they're just there they're happy to be in the Champions League. That's it. I think that every single Arsenal fan right now says that we need at least two players in January. We need a center mid, someone who will help Declan Rice, and we most definitely need a striker, because Zedi, sorry, but come on. And even Jesus is not pulling out trees right now. So yeah, so this is my thoughts on the January transfer windows. Now, one last thing, again, is something that a lot of Arsenal fans are talking right now, is there are those arguments online. Are the Kroenkes investing in the team or not? Which is very, very hard thing to be very decisive on, right? And the reason is they kinda do, but they kinda don't, right? So what I mean by this is, yeah, they spend money, right? A lot of money. Not as much as they should, but they spend a lot of money. And some people say, well, you can see they invest. Some people say, well, that's not an investment, that's just what the club makes. Well, on a paper, right, they own Arsenal. It's basically their asset. They own the club. They can do whatever the hell they want with it. So allowing your business, which is Arsenal, for them to spend the money that it actually generates, that is a kind of investment, reinvestment if you wish, right? They don't get those money, they don't get the profit, they just allow the club to reinvest the money. And I think that this is where probably the divide comes because a lot of fans are asking for more money, basically for Kroenkes to put their hands in their pockets, invest their own cash, add to what the club makes, to what the club generates. Now, right or wrong, I'm not going to talk about it. Everybody has its own opinion, its own view on that. Personally, I do think they could add some cash to that, because the last 15 years they didn't move a finger for this club, right? So that's the least thing they can do. And probably this will be the moment when the fans will basically support them, right? If the club makes 100 million and you drop another 100 on top of that, a couple of times, right? Like 2-3 windows in a row, then there will be no questions for the Kroenkes. The questions will be for Edu and Arteta or whoever the hell is on that place, right? So yeah, I think this January transfer window will show a lot of who does what in this club, who cares about this. Hopefully Arteta can turn this around, because he has to take a lot of blames, a lot of the blame as well. I don't think it's all on him. A lot of people are saying this is all on Arteta. I don't think it's like that. I mean, maybe the game against Fulham you could say that, because he made too many changes. But in general, come on, if you have 30 chance to score a goal, like we had in West Ham game, right? And you don't score one, that's not on the coach. His job is not to show you how to kick the ball to score a goal. That's something that you should know at the age of 26. The players, they're just not there right now. It looks like they're just celebrating somewhere else. So hopefully we have a better year. Hopefully this is the last negative video I make, and from that point on we only have positives. We're all happy, we're all united, as we should be, because right now things don't look great for us. From title contenders, which I think we can all forget for now, we became top 4 contenders, which is unfortunately in the last 15 years our usual spot. So yeah, please like the video, share the video. Have a very successful and happy new year, and up to the next one.